Welcome back to Turf Talk post-Preakness edition. Vance, we're at it again. Another shot at a Triple Crown.
Yeah, 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks now away. It's going to be another topsy-turvy trip to New York, especially for everybody involved in racing. This is why we cover it, and this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, always a circus. Went through it last year with California Chrome. Almost got through it 3 years ago with Alv Another. Of course, he never actually started after entering the race, but been through this before. My favorite horse has the distinction of coming the closest in terms of lengths, only beating a nose in the 98 Belmont. Of course, that was real quiet. Have you ever been to Belmont with the Triple Crown on the line?
No, I've actually been to Belmont Park only once, and it was the week after the 2000 Belmont Stakes, won by Commendable. A forgettable Belmont Stakes, to be sure, but
yeah.
You will be amongst the 90,000 in attendance 3 weeks from now, so...
Yeah, no question. Smarty Jones, to me, was... and I love the Derby, been to several, and year in and year out, that's definitely the event, but... That last year, when Smarty Jones hit the stretch with the lead, 100,000+ people, I have never been to a sporting event that was that electric. And I don't know that this horse quite has the following and the good story that Smarty Jones did. So I don't know if we'll have sort of that everyone like this is the home team atmosphere like we did with Smarty Jones. But nevertheless, always a good time.
It is, and like Smarty Jones, I think American Pharoah has a better than 50-50 shot of sweeping the crown. I wasn't so confident about horses like California Chrome, War Emblem, Charismatic, and even I'll Have Another before he was taken out of the race. I see American Pharoah, what he's done so far, I would put him in the category of a Big Brown, a Smarty Jones, horses and Silver Charm and Real Quiet, horses like that who looked like they were going to have a really good shot of sweeping all 3 races, but ultimately fell short.
Yeah, and a good field lining up. Unlike Silver Charm and Real Quiet, though, facing the key contenders we're going to talk about are horses that actually skip the Preakness, which is sort of more in vogue in the recent years. And to me, will definitely be a big story, win or lose. I mean, if he beats Materiality and Frosted again and Mubtaj, Carpe Diem, the Grade 1 winners behind him, I mean, that's a Smarty Jones quality field. Whereas if he doesn't, we might get a Coburn Redux from Ahmed Zayat, about these horses that basically got to lie in wait for 5 weeks.
Yeah, Todd Pletcher, obviously, like you said, him skipping the Preakness is a strategy that's in vogue for him, and he actually, after what happened with the rainstorm on Saturday, he looks like a genius for skipping the Preakness with all of his major 3-year-olds, and he's got a great shot as well. I think the horse I like so far going in as a possible upset for American Pharoah is Frosted. I think he ran a really good race in the Derby, had a prep win before that. Looks just like Kieran McLaughlin, trained a Belmont winner already in Jazzle. It wasn't quite the same connections, right? That was Frosted is Darley, right. It was a Shake Calm Down, Chadwell. Yeah. So Frosted, I think, right now looks like the main contender for me, although I know a lot of people love Materiality going forward.
No, and I mean, these are fast horses, and back to Pletcher real quick. Obviously, he has a reputation, the Derby only the 1 win, and really the Belmont only the 2 wins, but he does seem he has a runner ready for the Belmont. I mean, we saw with Palace Malice and Rags to Riches, they won, of course, but Dunkirk was runner-up. Last year we had Commissioner, who's ran very well this year, and with 4, it's impossible to think that one of them won't fire for Todd, and they've all run fast enough to at least have a say. And I'm going to take a long look at Mubtaj as well. Obviously, I was not a fan in the Derby, and people are kind of questioning the motives of my 180 here, but to me, I mean, that's a totally different feel. I mean, he's had 5 weeks since the Derby. The 5 weeks since the UAE Derby were spent traveling and at Arlington, and this was a pointed effort. They liked something they saw after the Derby to keep him here. And when a trainer that has that international experience makes that decision, as Mike DeCock does and did, I'm going to pay attention. So we'll see how it shakes out and what jockey he gets. But to me, this is no gimme for American Pharoah, and that's what makes it fun.
Yeah. I have a question for you. Besides the 1.5-mile distance and the 3 races in 5 weeks, what do you think can possibly trip up American Pharoah here?
I'll go back to the Smarty Jones year and just say that no jockey is going to give him this race. And, I'm not saying they're going to conspire against him by any means. But, we saw in the Preakness, which I love, Mr. Z was on him early. And Castellano on Divining Rod, he went for the win. And American Pharoah shrugged him off, which was great. And I think we're going to see that in the Belmont. If a jockey thinks he has a shot to take the lead and see what happens, they're going to go for it. So to me, and again, I'm not saying they're going to conspire against him and try to put him in the in the rail or anything like that. But look at California Chrome last year. Riders realized that this is a horse who needs to get out to run his best, and they kept him down on the inside. So to me, that's going to be one of the challenges. Certainly, raw talent we know is there, but he's going to have to overcome the designs of his competitors.
I agree with that. I think the pace of the race is going to be of absolute importance. He's not going to be able, if he's on the lead in the Belmont Stakes, if he's going in 46 and change like he was at Pimlico, it's going to take a toll on him, in that last quarter of a mile. So I think that's going to be the major hurdle that will possibly stop him at the Belmont Stakes.
All right. Well, we have 2 more weeks to slice and dice, and I know one of the big topics is going to be about Triple Crown winner saving racing. So we'll save that for next week, though. But I'm interested to get your thoughts. So be thinking about that, and we'll look forward to talking to you then.